Imagine walking into a massive stadium, right? The noise is just absolute chest-rattling bedlam. Everyone is on their feet screaming in celebration. But you look around and realize, well, half the crowd in the stadium just lost the game, yet they are cheering for the team that beat them.
It's such a bizarre image.
Right. And that bizarre, triumphant tension is exactly what we are exploring today in our deep dive into Psalm 47 from the English Standard Version of the Bible.
Yeah, and just to set the stage, we are looking at this ancient text, which is attributed to the sons of Korah, strictly as a piece of historical literature today. We want to see how it constructs power, because it's brief, but honestly, it's incredibly dense.
It really is. And the tension hits you immediately. I mean, the poem opens with a command to the whole world. It says, clap your hands, all peoples, shout to God with loud songs of joy.
Exactly. It frames God as the most high, a universal king. But it doesn't stay universal for very long.
No, it really doesn't.
It immediately pivots to this very specific exclusionary boast. It says, he subdued peoples under us and nations under our feet. So the text demands global joy from the very people who were just conquered.
Which is wild. It's like demanding the opposing team's fans buy your championship merch. You have this universal, fearsome ruler, but that power is exclusively weaponized for a highly specific cultural identity.
Right, the pride of Jacob.
Exactly. So asking your conquered enemies to celebrate their own defeat isn't just about winning. It's really about total psychological dominance.
Yeah. And, how do you orchestrate that kind of psychological dominance?
Hmm.
You demand a deafening spectacle. The sensory details here are just overwhelming.
Oh, absolutely.
You've got God going up with a shout, trumpets are blaring, and the command to sing praises is hammered out 5 separate times in just 2 verses.
Yeah, it reads like a chaotic, screaming mosh pit of a victory parade. But I actually hit a major contradiction when I was looking at the footnotes.
Oh, yeah. What did you find?
Well, the text says to sing praises with a psalm, but the original Hebrew word used there is maskil. And from what I understand, a maskil is supposed to be a deeply contemplative, skillful, or instructive poem.
Yeah, that's right.
So my question is, how do you have thoughtful contemplation in the middle of a screaming, trumpet-blaring mosh pit?
Well, because the chaos is entirely engineered. A maskil functions to teach or instruct, right?
Okay.
So by embedding a highly calculated, intelligent structure into this wild celebration, the authors are signaling that this victory isn't just some mindless riot, it's structured theology.
I see. So they are actively instructing the conquered nations.
Exactly. They're instructing them on exactly who is in charge and how they're expected to behave. It's a fully choreographed display of power.
Wow. And that engineered spectacle really sets up the final visual of the text perfectly, I think. Once the shouting settles, we get this stark image of a global hierarchy.
Right, with God sitting on a holy throne.
Yeah, and the princes of the peoples gather as the people of the God of Abraham.
And notice the mechanism of their surrender there. The poem ends with the phrase, the shields of the earth belong to God.
I focus heavily on that word, actually. Shields, not swords or crowns.
It's a very specific, deliberate choice.
Right. Because throwing down a sword means you stop attacking, but handing over your shield means you are entirely giving up your ability to defend yourself. You are completely intentionally vulnerable.
Exactly. The shield is the ultimate symbol of human self-reliance and earthly protection.
Yeah.
So by declaring that the shields belong to God, the text argues that all human leaders, all worldly defenses, and all military might are being absorbed by this one exalted ruler.
Oh, wow. So the foreign princes aren't just visiting as diplomats.
No, they are surrendering their very means of survival.
You can really see why a text like this still resonates. I mean, it taps into a deep, maybe even unsettling part of human nature.
For sure.
It's that desire not just for our own tribe to win, but for the entire world to universally validate and celebrate that victory. It's a fierce, concentrated declaration of ultimate sovereignty.
It really reveals exactly how ancient cultures conceptualized absolute dominance, blending that intense poetry with raw geopolitical hierarchy.
Definitely. But, before you walk away with just the noise of those trumpets and shouts ringing in your ears, I want you to consider one weird structural detail. Right. Tucked away at the end of verse 4, right before the loudest part of this victory procession begins, there is a tiny, mysterious word inserted, Selah.
Which historians largely understand as a musical pause, right? Like a full stop.
Exactly. So I'll leave you with this. In a text completely defined by overwhelming, triumphant noise and forced celebration, what does that sudden, silent pause ask you to reflect on?